Okay, part 2. So there it is, L7, right there. You see how that works? All right. So we've put together an L and a 7 here, but how did it really come together? Because, wait a minute, we've got a S3S right here, right? 7R2 on the top, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom, like this, 7R2, 2, 3, 4. And then we've got an S2L on the top on the right, 6, 7R, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7R, 3, 4, 5. And then underneath that, directly underneath that, and this is how the pattern stack goes, these spaces aren't strings or anything, it's just to show you the difference. They stack right on top of one another. Underneath that, you have another S3S, and connected to that, where they share the 7R and the 5. Okay, so they're interlaced like this. Now that makes an interesting rule. If I'm doing an S2L, okay, if I'm doing an S2L, all right, which is like 3, I could start one from the 2nd string on the E, so it'd be the 3rd of C, right? 3, 5, 6, root, right? Now, if I wanted to continue on to a S3S, I want to go to the 2 right up, straight above the 6, so it would be right, 2, 4, 3, that was. Or I can go 6, 7R and then skip a whole step to the next one that was on top of it. You see that? So if I'm going to go to the next one up, I'm skipping a whole step. Why? Because this interval from R to 2 is a whole step. Okay? This interval from R to 2 is a whole step, and so is this a whole step right here. Okay? So they're both a whole step. So if I'm going to continue the pattern horizontally, completely horizontally on the same string, I have to skip a whole step and then go to this next guy here. And it also shows right here, because this is the same note, 2 and 2. So I could start another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 R2, because you remember, you have to understand and have some sort of working knowledge that these 2 patterns right here are the only 2 patterns you need to know to make major scales. That doesn't mean you can't take this one and put it sideways over here and do it. You can, and this is exactly what happens here. So say we got this guy, this 7L, this S3S here, okay? We got one of them there, right? And instead of going this guy on top of it, we wanted to go sideways. Well, here's the difference. It shares the 3 and the 4. You see the 3 and the 4? So there's a 3 and a 4 here, a 6, 3 and a 4 here, and a 6, 3 and a 4 there. They're shared. So if I want to play the, let's say we'll do it in G, and it would be coming out in E flat. If I want to go sideways here, so it's 2, excuse me, it's 3, where are we? Okay, so we're starting on E, okay? So we go 3, 5, 6, root. That root is a C. Okay, so it's... Now say I don't want to go up to the 2, 3. I want to go sideways, and it's completely in agreement with the pattern that I can just continue the interleaved pattern from the 7 and the root here. We don't skip a whole step anymore. Okay? We don't skip a whole step there. Now, it's easier to see. Let me just erase this thing right here. It's easier to see when we get to the big time. Okay, where's the big time? Here is the big time, right here. Oop, stop doing that. This is the double 7L pattern. Okay, it's not. Gosh, I want to try to get it higher, but there it is. Don't worry about this guy up here. This is the double 7L pattern. And this gives us more of an opportunity to go sideways. So let's say we start on a 2, 3, 4. This is experimental. Okay, so here I'm going to, in the key of C, which is going to be with my A flat, you know, my C tuning. Okay, it'd be actually this. That. It's the inversion that's involved too. You know what inversions are. That's the 3 inversions plus a repeat of the first one. My hands are slippery. So we want to start on the 2 here, and we're going to do like 2, 3, 4, but and then 5, 6, 7 root 2. But then instead of going to the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root, as would go in the normal pattern stack, from the 7R2 we want to go to this 3, 4, 5 up here to the 6, 7 root there. Okay, which means we're going to have to skip a whole step before we start this pattern. All right. Alright, so tell me this ends on the root, and I'll be happy. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. That's the root up there. Alright, now the thing is, we're in an interesting position here. We could do 7R root 5, 6, 2, 3, 4 on down there. You know what I'm saying? It would go like. All right, we're up too high. I'm up too high for for my purposes. My playing. We'll start down here. So we're on the root here. Okay. Root 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. We're back up at the root here. What I'm saying is, if we want to go from this pattern here, what I want to say is, if we want to go from this S2L to this S3S right here, we're no longer going to be skipping a whole step. They're interleaved. So if we're going from this guy to this guy, we've got to skip a whole step. But if we're going from this guy this guy to this guy, they're interleaved. So we don't skip a whole step. That's what I'm saying. So let's see if we can get this right. Where's our S3? This is an S2L right here on the bottom. Alright, and this is an S3S right here. They're going to share this 3 and this 4. So if I want to take the 2, 3, 4, 5 on one string, remember, I'm not going to skip a whole step. It's just going to be 2, 3, 4. That's the beginning of my. But now the 3, 4, you almost started it over in your head, is the bottom element of the S2L. So it's. You can even just double them to start the pattern over again, right? So it'd be.